The Black Clover movie is finally out on Netflix and it did not disappoint at all. And after 2 years of the anime being over, we finally see the return of Asta and the rest of the gang into our TV in their first film. So if you are a big fan of Black Clover or you don't mind Black Clover, you think it's okay, then you will honestly enjoy this movie because this movie has everything that you like about Black Clover. Plus, it has great animation, it has some good fights, and the characters, everyone is able to shine and do awesome team up. Now, this movie is not 100% perfect. It does has its flaws, but this movie is really good. So the movie takes place after the Elf arc, but in the middle of Asta and Noelle training after they learn about devils and the dark triads. So we start in the beginning of the film, which, by the way, there's going to be mid spoilers because I'm not going to try to spoil the whole movie for y'all. But in the beginning of the movie, we actually get a flashback of 10 years ago when we see Julius, Yami, Figolion, Nozel. They're actually battling against the previous Wizard King named Comrade, who gone rogue and want to destroy the country while using the sword of the Wizard King. But during the course of the battle, Julius used his time magic to seal Comrade away so that way he won't do any harm anymore. And they kept this secrets under wraps unless you were there in battle. And there we get the understanding on how Julius became the Wizard King. But after 10 years, Comrade has returned and he brought previous Wizard Kings to help him in his cause on destroying and rebuilding the Clover Kingdom. But the real question is that how did Comrade was able to free himself? Well, it was during the event of the Elf arc when Julius was fighting Patry, and Patry was able to stab Julius, and there he took the opportunity to go free himself, and then he tries to gather his squad so that way he can take over the Clover Kingdom. Now, the first thing I like about this movie is that it goes straight into the action because it did not waste any time at all. No explanation or anything else. It says 10 years, and then we see Julius and Yami and the rest of the other game just battling against Comrade. And that's something that I really did like. And I did like how they showcase his magic and how deadly it is because his magic, Comrade's magic, is key magic. So where he can honestly store and absorb any kind of magic, and he can kind of copy your spells and your magic as well. So it was just a really good, overpowered ability that Comrade has. And I also did like how they showcased the other previous Wizard Kings, like their abilities and their powers as well, and how unique it is because you have one of the Wizard King, the lady, who has the ability to make an army. And it looks cool because in the beginning you think that she's making chess, but in actuality, she's actually just making magic knights. And she's kind of very powerful. She's like another Leona, but she has like this steel army magic. And it's really cool and it's very unique. And there was one Wizard King who had the power of ice, but I did not find his character very interesting at all. And I think it's because of the fact that he was holding back when he was battling against the Black Bulls. And I understand that he was a powerful ice Wizard King, but there was one cool scene that he was able to turn the lava into ice. Plus, the other guy in their squad had the same ability as the ice guy, but he also had barriers. So I do feel like they had so many ideas, and I feel like they could have just made the ice guy be a little bit more interesting when it came down to his magic abilities. But overall, I admired that they made these villains incredibly strong and how like you have to go to your maximum level to try to take them out. Especially like there were certain villains where they had to do unique team ups. Like we see Yami, Figolion, Nozel, and teaming up to actually take one of them down. They did like a great combination spell. It was just 100% badass. And you see other characters as well, like Comrade. Comrade was like destroying people throughout like this whole movie. Like this man was no joke. This man knocked out Finro. This man beat up Noelle. He beat up Asta. Like this man was not playing any games at all. And it was just really interesting. And I do like how they made Leona the only one to fight one of the Wizard Kings that has gone rogue. And it was just badass, and it was just very awesome because everyone has to do either team up besides Asta when Asta had to face against Comrade, but everybody else they had to do teamwork. The Black Bulls they had to go ahead and face one villain, and then we have like the unique group of Yami, Figolion, Nozel. They face against another one. Yeah, so Mary Leona and Asta were the only two people that had to fight against their main villains like by themselves. So it was just really cool. And like I said before, everyone get their moment to shine or showcase their usefulness in this 2 hour movie. And Black Clover, they have like a large amount of characters. So it's just really great to see how they're able to showcase that. But then at the same time, that is a negative. And I do understand that this movie is the first movie for this series and they have like a large cast. But there are just certain characters that they just somehow just forgotten, like Real, Dorothy, the guy who is the captain of like the Purple Peacock, Leo. They're like there in the beginning of the movie and they do some action stuff, but then there's certain scenes that had happened throughout the movie and they're just like forgotten. Like they're just there for like 2 seconds and then they're just forgotten. Like we don't know what happened to them. We don't know if they're captured. We don't know like just anything at all. They're just vanished out of thin air. So it was just one of the like the negative aspects that I found about this movie. Another negative that I will have to say is that I wish this movie was in theaters before it went to Netflix because just the experience, because the animation looks so beautiful with the unique of the colors, the movement, the fight choreograph, just how everything looks so beautiful and so crisp that it just was just like, man, I wish I can see this in theater, and the sound effects as well when everyone was in action and everything. Like it just looks beautiful. Even with the animation being on top tier and the CGI, there was just one thing that I did find negative in my last negative comment about this movie is that they didn't flesh out the character Comrade really well, because this is the first time that we're being introduced to this character and he is a previous Wizard King. And so the fact that he is the Wizard King but he wants to destroy the Clover Kingdom, there has to be a reason why. There has to be a catalyst on why he took that path on trying to destroy the country that he stated that he will protect with his life. And we didn't get the explanation towards 5 minutes at the end of the movie. And even explaining the reason why, it was very lackluster. It was just like, yeah, this is the reason why he kind of just like went rogue. But thank you, Asta, for saving like the whole world and the powers and everything else. And that was just something that I just find just very, just not really that good, because throughout this whole movie, Comrade is throughout this whole movie, and you get like 2 seconds of him having a flashback of this woman, and we don't even know who this woman was and towards the end of the movie. And it will make so much justice and so relatable to this character, and he'll been more fleshed out if we saw like a flashback of his life and how and why he went rogue, and to understand his reason and his method, and to be like, you know what, Comrade, you are right. You should destroy this country. Even though you're wrong, we do understand your reason. And so like just how Comrade was just like kind of like handled in a way of like understanding his character was just very lackluster. But him as a character, how powerful he is and everything else, they did a real good job. But also to his method, I really did feel like how his method on how he wants to destroy the Clover Kingdom and wants to rebuild it was literally ridiculous. I just really think that that method would not work, but that's all. And we do get two surprise appearance from two characters, Liba, Asta's devil, and Not, and his devil as well. So yeah, these are the two surprises that we see in this movie. And other than that, like this movie was really good. I really had a fun time watching this movie. Now, for the people who pretty much saw my previous review the other day, well, Netflix blocked it because there were certain clips of the movies that were in the review and Netflix decided to block it. So I didn't get a strike on my channel, but I were able to get the issue fixed, but I had to show a new video, which is fine. But if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. Let me know down in the comment section what was your favorite part of the movie, your rating, your thoughts and theories, and all. But if you guys do like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, and remember, always be decent. This is the Monotone Man, and I do apologize for repeating, but be safe, be decent.